I told my younger daughter to get over it after her older sister got pregnant by her high school boyfriend of 3 years, forced them to marry, and expected her to smile at the wedding. She walked out and cut me off completely. Now 5 years later the husband is gone, my older daughter had a breakdown, and I'm alone raising 2 nieces that my younger daughter will never meet because I chose the easy solution over her heart. I told my younger daughter to get over it 5 years ago, and I haven't heard her voice since. That's the sentence that plays on loop now. That's the one I can't take back. I'm sitting in my older daughter Melissa's apartment at 2 in the morning, watching 2 little girls sleep on a mattress that's too small for both of them, and I'm realizing I destroyed my family because I thought I was being practical. Because I thought I knew better. Because I was a coward. Let me back up. Let me tell you exactly how I ruined everything. Melissa got pregnant with Jake when she was 24. Jake was 19. Jake was also my younger daughter Sophie's high school boyfriend. They'd been together 3 years. 3 years of Sunday dinners where Jake sat at our table and called me Mrs. Chen and helped wash dishes. 3 years of watching Sophie light up every time his car pulled into the driveway. 3 years of him being part of our family in every way that mattered. I liked Jake. Everyone liked Jake. He was polite, smart, going to community college to become a teacher. He came from a good family. His parents and I had coffee together twice a month. We joked about future grandchildren. We joked about how Sophie and Jake would probably get married right after college. Then Melissa came home crying one night and told me she'd slept with him. It was a Thursday. I remember because I'd just gotten home from book club. I was in a good mood. I'd had 2 glasses of wine. I was humming when I walked in the door. Melissa was on the couch, mascara running down her face, shaking. "Mom," she said. "I need to tell you something." I sat down. My stomach dropped. That tone. Every mother knows that tone. What happened? I slept with Jake. The room tilted. I heard the words but they didn't make sense. I repeated them in my head. I slept with Jake. Jake. Sophie's Jake. What? I'm pregnant. I stopped breathing. It was one time, she said, talking faster now, words tumbling out. Maybe twice. I don't know. I was drunk. He was at that party at Morgan's house. Sophie wasn't there, she had that exam. He was upset about something. We were talking. It just happened. Mom, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I should have screamed. I should have asked her what the hell she was thinking. I should have demanded to know how she could do this to her sister, to our family, to herself. I didn't. I did the math instead. How far along? 4 months. 4 months. She'd known for 4 months. She'd sat at dinner with Sophie and Jake for 4 months. She'd watched them hold hands. She'd listened to Sophie talk about their plans. She'd known the entire time. Does Jake know? She nodded. I told him last week. He's freaking out. He doesn't know what to do. Does Sophie know? No. God, no. Mom, I can't tell her. She'll hate me. She'll never forgive me. She was right about that. I sat there in silence. My mind was racing. This was a disaster. This was going to destroy Sophie. This was going to destroy our family. Jake's family. Everything. Unless. That's when the thought came. The terrible, practical, efficient thought that would haunt me for the rest of my life. Unless we make it okay. Where's Jake now? I asked. Home, I think. Mom, what do I do? I stood up. My body moved on autopilot. My brain had clicked into problem-solving mode. Call him. Tell him to come over tomorrow. Don't tell Sophie yet. Let me think. I didn't sleep that night. I sat in my bedroom with a notepad, writing out scenarios. Options. Outcomes. Option 1, tell Sophie immediately. She breaks up with Jake. Melissa has the baby as a single mother. Jake pays support. Sophie is devastated but moves on eventually. Melissa struggles. The baby grows up in a broken situation. The family is fractured permanently. Option 2, force Melissa to give up the baby. Adoption. Don't tell Sophie. But Jake would have to agree. And Sophie would find out eventually. And Melissa would resent us forever. Bad option. Option 3, get them married. Melissa and Jake. Make it official. Make it a family. The baby has 2 parents. Jake does the right thing. Sophie is hurt, yes, but she's young. She's 19. She's about to start her sophomore year at state. She has her whole life ahead of her. She'll meet someone else. She'll move on. This is the best outcome for everyone. I wrote that last option 3 times. I circled it. I convinced myself it made sense. Melissa was 24, working part-time at Target, living in my basement. She dropped out of college after 1 semester. She had no prospects, no direction, no plan. This baby could be good for her. This baby could give her purpose. Jake was a good kid. Responsible. He'd made a mistake, but he'd do the right thing if someone just told him what the right thing was. And Sophie. Sweet, smart, driven Sophie. She'd be hurt, yes. Of course she'd be hurt. But she was strong. She'd survive this. She'd graduate, get her degree in engineering, meet someone better. Someone who deserved her. Someone who wouldn't cheat on her with her own sister. I told myself this was mercy. I told myself this was protecting everyone. I was lying. The next day, I sat Jake and Melissa down in the living room. Jake looked like he was going to throw up. Melissa wouldn't stop crying. I stayed calm. I'd practiced this. Melissa's pregnant. You're the father. You're getting married. Jake stared at me. Mrs. Chen, You made a choice. Now you have a responsibility. That baby needs a father. Melissa needs a husband. This is what's happening. But Sophie. Sophie is 19, I said firmly. She has her whole life ahead of her. She'll move on. You need to focus on this baby. On building a family. On doing the right thing. I don't love Melissa, he said quietly. Melissa flinched like he'd hit her. Love grows, I said. My husband and I had an arranged marriage. We learned to love each other. You're both adults. You'll figure it out. That was a lie too. My husband and I did have an arranged marriage. He left me when the girls were in middle school. But Jake didn't know that. I need to tell Sophie, Jake said. No. I'll tell Sophie. You focus on Melissa and the baby. He looked at Melissa. She was staring at her hands, tears dripping onto her jeans. Okay, he said finally. Quietly. Like a man accepting a prison sentence. I started planning the wedding that afternoon. Sophie came home 3 days later. She'd been at school, studying for finals. She texted me that she'd be home Friday evening. She texted that she was excited to see everyone. She texted that she missed Jake. I didn't respond to that last one. She walked in the door at 6 p.m. with her backpack and a smile. I was in the kitchen. Melissa was on the couch. Jake was sitting next to her, staring at the floor. Sophie saw them and her smile got bigger. Hey, she said. I didn't know you'd be here. I thought you had that thing with your brother. Jake didn't look up. Sophie's smile faded. She looked at me. Mom? What's going on? I dried my hands on a towel. I'd rehearsed this. I'd practiced the tone. Calm. Rational. Loving but firm. Sophie, sweetheart, come sit down. We need to talk. She didn't sit. She stood in the doorway, frozen. What happened? Melissa's pregnant. Jake's the father. They're going to get married. The words came out flat. Clinical. Like I was reading a grocery list. Sophie didn't move. Didn't blink. Just stared at me. What? I know this is hard. What? Her voice cracked on the second one. Melissa started crying. Jake still wouldn't look up. They made a mistake. But there's a baby now. And we need to do what's best for that baby. Jake's going to marry Melissa and we're all going to support them. Sophie laughed. It wasn't a real laugh. It was the sound of something breaking inside her chest. You're kidding. You're fucking kidding. Sophie, language. Language? She was yelling now. Mom, he was my boyfriend. She's my sister. You're telling me they're getting married? You're 19, I said. I actually said that. I looked my baby girl in the eye and told her she was too young for her pain to matter. You have your whole life ahead of you. You'll meet someone else. Someone better. This is what's best for everyone. Best for everyone. She repeated it slowly, like she was testing the words. Best for everyone. Did you ask me? Did anyone ask me if this was best for me? You'll understand when you're older. I'm not a child. Her voice broke. Tears were streaming down her face. I loved him. We were going to. She stopped. Shook her head. How long? No one answered. How long? She screamed. 4 months, Melissa whispered. Sophie looked at her sister for the first time. Really looked at her. You knew. For 4 months. You sat at dinner with us. You listened to me talk about our future. You knew the whole time. I'm sorry, Melissa sobbed. Sophie, I'm so sorry. Did you do it on purpose? Silence. Melissa. Did you fuck my boyfriend on purpose? I was drunk. That's not what I asked. More silence. Then, barely audible, I don't know. Sophie closed her eyes. When she opened them, they were empty. You did. You did it because you wanted something I had. Because you've always been jealous. Because you can't stand seeing me happy. That's not fair, I started. Fair? Sophie looked at me. You're talking to me about fair? You're standing there defending her? You're making me come home to this ambush and telling me to just get over it because I'm young? You are young. You'll move on. You'll. Stop. Stop talking. Her voice was ice. I'm leaving. I'm going back to school. Don't call me. Don't text me. Don't show up at my dorm. I'm done. Sophie, please. You picked her. You picked the baby. You picked the easy solution. You didn't pick me. That's not true. I love you both. No. She grabbed her backpack. You love the version of me that makes things easy for you. The version that smiles and forgives and pretends this is okay. That's not me. Not anymore. She looked at Jake one last time. I hope it's worth it, she said. I hope you wake up every day for the rest of your life and remember that you destroyed us for one night with my sister. Then she looked at Melissa. And I hope you're happy. I hope this is everything you wanted. I hope when that baby is born, you look at it and remember what you had to do to get it. She walked out. The door slammed. Her car started. She was gone. I stood there, frozen. Go after her, Melissa said. Mom, go after her. I didn't. I told myself she needed space. I told myself she'd cool down. I told myself she'd come back once the baby was born, once she saw her niece or nephew, once she had time to process. I was wrong about that too. The wedding was 6 weeks later. Small ceremony at the courthouse. Jake's parents came. They looked sick. They knew. Everyone knew. But no one said anything. We smiled for pictures. We had cake. We pretended. Sophie didn't come. She didn't respond to the invitation. She didn't respond to my calls. She didn't respond to Melissa's text begging for forgiveness. She'd cut us off completely. I posted pictures on Facebook anyway. Sophie and I were still friends on there. I tagged her in every single one. Wedding photos. Baby shower photos. Melissa's growing belly. She never liked them. Never commented. But she didn't unfriend me either. I took that as hope. Melissa had the baby 4 months later. Twin girls. Beautiful, healthy, perfect. I was in the delivery room. I held them. I cried. I posted pictures. I tagged Sophie in all of them. She still didn't respond. Jake tried. I'll give him that. He worked 2 jobs. He came home. He played with the girls. He changed diapers. He did everything a husband and father should do. But I could see it in his eyes every time he looked at Melissa. He didn't love her. He was doing his duty. He was a good kid trapped in a life he didn't choose, and it was killing him slowly. Melissa saw it too. She got paranoid. She'd check his phone while he was in the shower. She'd ask where he was going, who he was with, when he'd be back. She'd accuse him of still thinking about Sophie. Of comparing them. Of wishing she was Sophie. She wasn't wrong. He never said it out loud, but I saw it. The way he'd stare at nothing sometimes. The way he'd flinch when Melissa tried to kiss him. The way he'd sleep on the couch, claiming he didn't want to wake her with his alarm. He was a ghost in his own life. 2 years in, Melissa found texts on his phone. Nothing physical. Just messages to an old friend from high school. A girl named Emma. Innocent stuff, mostly. Complaining about work, talking about movies, normal friend conversation. But there was one message that said, I think about what my life would have been like if I'd made different choices. Melissa lost it. She screamed at him. She threw the phone. She told him he owed her. He promised her. He made vows. He couldn't leave. What about the girls? What about their family? He just stood there, taking it, silent. She called me at midnight, hysterical. I drove over in my pajamas. I found Jake with a duffel bag in his hand and Melissa blocking the door. You can't leave, I told him. You have children. You have responsibilities. I know, he said. His voice was flat. Empty. I'll pay support. I'll see them. But I can't stay here. I can't do this anymore. You made a choice. No. He finally looked at me. You made a choice. I was 19. I was scared. I didn't know what to do. You told me marrying Melissa was the right thing. You told me Sophie would move on. You told me I owed this to the baby. And I listened because I thought you knew better. I thought adults knew what they were doing. He laughed bitterly. But you didn't know. You just didn't want to deal with the mess. So you made it neat? You made it a wedding. You made me smile for pictures. And you threw Sophie away to do it. That's not. It is. You know it is. I'll never forgive you for that. And I'll never forgive myself for listening. He walked out. Melissa collapsed. I held her while she sobbed, and for the first time, really the first time, I felt the weight of what I'd done. I destroyed 3 lives to avoid dealing with one mistake. Jake paid child support for a while. He saw the girls every other weekend at first. Then once a month. Then every few months. Then he met someone. A woman named Rachel. Got engaged. Moved to Arizona for her job. The support payments got sporadic. Then they stopped. Melissa couldn't afford the apartment on her part-time salary. She couldn't afford daycare. She couldn't afford anything. She moved back in with me. Her and the twins. Back to the basement where it all started. The girls are 7 now. They're beautiful. They have Sophie's eyes. Melissa's smile. Jake's laugh. They're smart, funny, sweet. They deserve so much better than this. They ask about their dad sometimes. Melissa tells them he's busy with work. I tell them he loves them very much. We're both lying. He sends a card on their birthday if he remembers. Sometimes there's money in it. Sometimes there's not. They don't ask about Sophie. They don't know she exists. Not yet. Sophie graduated summa cum laude from state. I know because I created a fake Facebook account to follow her. She blocked my real account 2 years ago, but she doesn't know about Patricia Henderson, the nice lady with a flower profile picture who friended her sophomore year. She got a degree in engineering. She got a job at a tech company in Denver. She looked happy in her photos. Hiking. Traveling. Living. She looked nothing like the 19-year-old girl who walked out of my living room. I watched her life through a screen. I watched her make new friends. I watched her smile in pictures at bars, at concerts, at birthday parties. I watched her build a life that didn't include any of us. I told myself I was just checking in. Making sure she was okay. Being a good mother. I was stalking my own daughter. 3 years after she left, I saw a picture that made me stop breathing. Sophie, in a white sundress, laughing, a ring on her finger, a man's arm around her waist. The caption said, "She said yes. Can't wait to marry my best friend." I stared at that picture for an hour. I zoomed in on the ring. On her smile. On the way she looked at him like he'd hung the moon. I wasn't invited to her engagement. I didn't even know who he was. I tried to find his name in the comments. People were congratulating them, but no one tagged him. I scrolled through her friends list. Blocked. I searched wedding registries. Nothing. I tried to send her a message through Patricia Henderson's account, "Congratulations on your engagement. So happy for you." She deleted it without responding. Then she blocked Patricia Henderson too. She knew. Somehow she knew. I went to Melissa. I thought maybe Melissa could reach out, sister to sister. Melissa was sitting on the couch, twins asleep on either side of her, watching TV with dead eyes. "Sophie's engaged," I said. Melissa didn't look away from the screen. Good for her. Maybe you could reach out. Congratulate her. Try to. Try to what, Mom? Reconnect? Apologize for the millionth time? Beg her to forgive me? She finally looked at me. Why would she talk to me? I ruined her life. You didn't ruin her life. Look, she's engaged. She's happy. She's fine. Yeah. She's happy. Without us. Because she cut out the cancer. Don't say that. It's true. Melissa turned back to the TV. I'm glad she's happy. I'm glad she got away. I'm glad at least one of us gets to have a good life. You have the girls. I have 2 kids I can barely take care of with a man who pays child support when he remembers and a sister who hates me and a mother who thinks I should be grateful for this mess you made. She said it without emotion. Like she was reading a weather report. I didn't make this mess. You slept with Jake. And you married us off like it was 1950. You didn't even ask what I wanted. You just decided what was convenient and told everyone to fall in line. I left the room before I said something I'd regret. But she was right. Deep down, I knew she was right. Melissa's breakdown started slowly. She stopped going to work. Called in sick 3 times in 2 weeks. Then she just stopped showing up. Got fired. She stopped eating. Stopped showering. She'd sit on that couch for hours, staring at nothing, while the twins tried to get her attention. Mommy? Mommy, are you hungry? Mommy, can we have lunch? She wouldn't respond. I took over. I moved the girls into my spare bedroom. I enrolled them in school near my house. I bought them clothes, toys, books. I made them breakfast, packed their lunches, helped with homework. I became their mother because Melissa couldn't be. The girls would ask for her. Where's Mommy? When is Mommy coming back? Is Mommy okay? Mommy's just tired, honey. She needs rest. They stopped asking after a while. Jake never came back. I tried reaching out through Facebook. His profile was still public. New wife. New baby. New house. New life. Smiling in every picture. I sent him a message, the girls miss you. Maybe you could visit sometime. They're doing so well. They'd love to see you. Read at 3:47 p.m. No response. I sent another message a week later, I'm not asking for money. Just some time. They're your daughters. Read at 10:23 a.m. No response. A third message, Jake please. They need their father. His wife responded this time. Stop contacting my husband. He's moved on. He pays what the court orders. That's all he owes. Leave us alone. I called him. Number disconnected. I looked up his parents. They'd moved. No forwarding address. I thought about hiring a lawyer. Forcing visitation. But the twins didn't even remember him. He'd been gone since they were 3. He was just a name. A story we told them. Daddy's busy with work. Daddy lives far away. Daddy loves you very much. More lies. Sophie got married. I found out from my neighbor, whose daughter went to high school with Sophie and still followed her on Instagram. The neighbor showed me a picture from someone's story. Sophie in a wedding dress, crying happy tears, kissing her husband on the steps of some beautiful venue. I wasn't there. My daughter got married and I wasn't there. The neighbor tried to be kind about it. I'm sure it was just a small ceremony. Maybe she'll have a bigger celebration later and you'll be invited. I nodded. I thanked her. I went home and cried for 3 hours. Melissa found me on the bathroom floor. I saw, she said quietly. Sarah sent me the picture too. I'm her mother. I know. I gave birth to her. I raised her. And you picked me, Melissa said. You picked the mess. You picked the easy solution. You threw her away. And now she's gone. She's being cruel. She's protecting herself. Melissa sat down on the floor next to me. I would have done the same thing. You're my daughter too. Was I supposed to let you be a single mother? Was I supposed to let that baby grow up without a father? Yes, Melissa said. That's exactly what you were supposed to do. You were supposed to let me face the consequences of what I did. You were supposed to tell Jake he didn't owe me anything. You were supposed to hold Sophie and tell her you were sorry. But you didn't. You made it easy for me. And you destroyed her. I wanted to argue. I wanted to scream at her that I was trying to help, that I was trying to do the right thing, that I was trying to make the best of a terrible situation. But I couldn't. Because she was right. Melissa went inpatient last year. She stopped eating entirely. Lost 40 pounds. Stopped talking. Just sat and stared. I drove her to the facility myself. The twins cried when we left. Where's Mommy going? Mommy's going to a special hospital so she can feel better. When is she coming back? Soon, honey. Soon. 4 months. She was gone 4 months. When she came back, she was different. Medicated. Stable. But hollow. She moved like a robot. She hugged the girls but didn't hold them. She made dinner but didn't eat. She existed, but she wasn't alive. Are you okay? I asked her one night. No, she said. But I'm here. That was all I got. The girls found an old photo album last month. They were playing in the attic, going through boxes. One of them came downstairs holding a picture. Grandma, who's this? It was Sophie. 16 years old, at the beach, laughing at something off camera. She was wearing a blue bathing suit and her hair was wet and she looked so young, so happy, so alive. My throat closed. That's your Aunt Sophie. Both girls crowded around. We have an aunt? I nodded. Where is she? She lives far away. How far? Very far. Can we meet her? No, honey. Why not? I didn't have an answer. Not one I could say out loud. Not one that wouldn't require me to explain that Mommy did something terrible and Grandma made it worse and Aunt Sophie was smart enough to run. She's just very busy, I said. But she's family, the oldest said. She has Sophie's eyes. It breaks my heart every time I look at her. Family visits each other. I know, sweetheart. It's complicated. She looks like Mommy. She did. They had the same face. The same smile. If you put pictures of them side by side at the same age, you could barely tell them apart. Can we call her? No. Can we write her a letter? I don't think that's a good idea. But. No, I said, more firmly than I meant to. Leave it alone. They looked hurt. They took the album and went back upstairs. I heard them whispering to each other later. Making plans to find her when they were older. To look her up on Facebook. To send her a message. I wanted to tell them it wouldn't work. That she'd blocked us all. That she'd changed her name on social media. That she'd made herself invisible. But I couldn't. I tried one more time to reach Sophie. I made a new email account. Generic name. No identifying information. I wrote. Your nieces are 7. They're beautiful. They're smart. They found a picture of you and asked who you were. They wanted to meet you. I didn't know what to tell them. I know I don't deserve anything from you. I know what I did. But they're innocent. They didn't do anything wrong. If you ever want to know them, I can make that happen. No strings. No expectations. Just 2 little girls who have an aunt they'll never meet unless you let them. I sent it to every email address I could find associated with her name. 3 days later, I got one response. You made your choice. Live with it. That was it. 5 words. No signature. No emotion. Just a door slamming shut. I sat at my computer and stared at those 5 words for an hour. Melissa found me. She responded? I nodded. She read the email over my shoulder. Good for her, Melissa said. She's being cruel. She's being smart. Melissa leaned against the desk. I think about her every single day, you know. I think about what I took from her. I think about her out there, living a life we'll never see, probably happier than she ever could have been with Jake. And I'm glad. I'm so fucking glad she got out. She's your sister. And you're her mother. And you picked me. You don't get to be surprised that she picked herself. I started crying. Melissa didn't move. I was trying to help, I said. You were trying to make it easy. There's a difference. I wanted what was best for the baby. You wanted what was easiest for you. You didn't want to deal with me being a single mom. You didn't want to tell your friends your daughter got knocked up by her sister's boyfriend. You didn't want the mess. So you made it neat? You made it a wedding. You threw Sophie away to do it. I love her. Not enough. Those 2 words broke me. I'm her mother. Then act like it. Respect her decision. Leave her alone. Let her have the life she built without us. That's the only thing you can do for her now. I haven't tried to contact Sophie since. It's been 5 years since I've heard her voice. 5 years since she walked out of this house. 5 years of watching her life through fake accounts until she locks them all down. 5 years of raising her nieces who don't know she exists. I'm 63 now. I'm tired. I'm raising 2 7-year-olds on Social Security and savings that are running out. I'm taking care of a daughter who's medicated into numbness because she can't live with what she did. I'm alone in a house that used to be full, scrolling through old pictures of a daughter who erased me like I never existed. My friends ask about Sophie sometimes. How's your younger daughter doing? We're not in touch. Oh, that's too bad. What happened? It's complicated. They nod sympathetically. They assume it's her fault. They assume she's ungrateful. They think I'm the victim here. They're wrong. I'm not the victim. I'm the villain. I'm the woman who looked her 19-year-old daughter in the eye and told her to get over the fact that her sister stole her boyfriend, got pregnant, and expected her to smile at the wedding. I'm the woman who chose convenience over loyalty. Who chose the easy answer over the right one? Who chose to protect the daughter who'd done wrong because dealing with the fallout was too hard? I'm the woman who destroyed her family because she couldn't handle the mess. The girls are asleep upstairs. Melissa's on the couch, staring at the TV with the sound off, existing but not living. The house is quiet except for the hum of the refrigerator and the sound of my own breathing. I think about Sophie every single day. I think about where she is, who she's with, if she's happy. I think about the wedding I didn't see. The life I'll never know. The husband I'll never meet. The grandchildren I might never have if she has them someday. I think about that moment in the living room 5 years ago. That moment when I could have chosen differently. When I could have held my younger daughter and told her I was sorry. When I could have told Melissa she'd have to figure it out on her own. When I could have been a mother instead of a problem solver. I think about what I'd say if I could go back. I'm sorry. I was wrong. I chose wrong. I should have chosen you. But I can't go back. I made my choice 5 years ago. I told my younger daughter to move on. I told her she was being dramatic. I told her family forgives. I told her she'd meet someone better. She did move on. She did meet someone better. She built a life without us. And the worst part, the part that keeps me up at night, the part I can't escape no matter how hard I try, is this. She was right to leave. She was right to cut us off. She was right to build a life where we don't exist. I don't blame her. I blame myself. And I'll carry that for the rest of my life, sitting in this quiet house, raising her nieces who look like her, watching Melissa fade away, knowing my younger daughter is out there somewhere, happy and free and completely done with me. I told her to move on. She did. She just moved on without me. And I deserve every second of this silence.